What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? As I apparently crack my wrist. Welcome back to Animation Station, your number one stop destination for anything and everything animation, including a sponge that lives in a pineapple under the sea. Welcome back to SpongeBob Month 4, and welcome to our next episode reviews, starting with Whale of a Birthday. In this episode, Mr. Krabs is forced by Pearl to try and not be cheap for her 16th birthday party with her, and she invites her, her horribly fake friends. And Mr. Krabs sends SpongeBob out to the mall to get her presents, goes a bit overboard with it, and then chaos and hilarity ensues from there. This episode is decent. It's not an amazing episode by any means, but it's a fun episode. It doesn't actively aggravate me. It's not one that makes me roll my eyes or makes me feel bad for watching it. It's a pretty good episode. So, what are my highlights? Double check here. First one is the credit card gag, where SpongeBob doesn't know what a credit card is, so he's not used to it at all. He's like, wait, I can just pay for things on this piece of plastic? That's both relatable and just so funny. Classic SpongeBob humor, and I absolutely love it. And then the second highlight... Oh, shoot, what was it? Sorry, I have to scroll. It's Squidward's absolutely horrible impromptu performance of the Boys Don't Cry song. Boys Who Cry theme song, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's hilariously awful. Especially when he starts getting pelted and then he gets that Krabby Patty statue of Pearl thrown at him. This is just a fun episode. It's not trying to be anything more than it is, and what it does well. So, yeah, I can see some people getting a bit annoyed at this one because this one does really lean into the whole teenage part of Pearl's personality and character, but it has just enough in it that I'm going to call it a decent episode. It's a fun time. It's like a party. It's fun while you're there, but then by the time it ends, you're just ready to go home. That's a weird analogy, I know, but that's the easiest way I can try to put it. Final verdict for this episode is going to be a 6 out of 10. It's a decent episode, it's a fun episode, but there's much better out there. Alright, let's move on to Karate Island. Welcome to Karate Island. In this episode, SpongeBob apparently wins some kind of contest that sends him to an island where he's supposed to be crowned the king of karate. And Sandy tags along because she finds the whole thing suspicious. And then SpongeBob acts a bit like a self-impromptu pompous jerk and drives her away. And then that's when the big reveal happens. And now it's up to Sandy to save SpongeBob from real estate. It sounds stupid when you say it out loud, but it's a fun episode. It is dragged down a lot by SpongeBob acting so entitled and insensitive. That part is absolutely horrendous. But, I mean, you take that part out, the rest of it's pretty solid. There are some really good parts in this episode, including the highlights, which is pretty much the entire final act of the episode. First off, with the 4 floors of fear. It's a really interesting concept, and they do a pretty good job with it. You have one guy that tickles people, and then you have someone who kisses people, and then the other one who lets their stink fight for them. It's that weird SpongeBob humor that somehow kind of works, and it's also kind of really fun. It's a bit hard to explain, but it's fun. And then the second highlight of the episode is when the big reveal happens, where it turns out that the whole thing was a scam to buy real estate. It's the show's commentary on scammers and catfishers, and when that reveal comes around, it's pretty funny, especially considering the fact of how far they tried to go to make this seem all convincing as an actual karate island with the you know, the old master voiced by Pat Morita. Yes, he's voiced by Mr. Miyagi from The Karate Kid. And a great performance, by the way, may he rest in peace. And just the whole aspect and design of the island, like, it's a really convincing fake, but it really is a fake. And that reveal is actually really smart when you think about it. And it's sad that it's still relevant even to this day because, you know, there's always going to be bots and scammers, so you just got to be careful. You just got to be careful online. And then the final highlight I'm going to give is not to the little ending where Squidward gets conned into the same thing, this time for clarinets, even though that is a funny little ending joke. No, I'm talking about the final battle with the Master versus Sandy. Like, it's a really fun fight. They use some cool techniques, including the one I actually have as the highlight, which, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the dragon throw from Dragon Ball Z. Like, when he picks you up by the legs and spins you around and then throws you. Like, that had to be a Dragon Ball reference. There's no way it wasn't. And then there's some other cool stuff in it, and while the fight in it is very, very short, it works for the story they're telling. But again, if SpongeBob wasn't just such an insensitive, entitled turd for most of the episode, it would probably be an 8, because the elements are here to make a great episode, and not to mention, back in the day, Nickelodeon hyped the absolute heck out of it, despite the fact that it's not a special. So, I don't know, take it for what it's worth. My final verdict, Karate Island, is going to be a 7 out of 10. It's a solid episode, it's a good episode, it's a lot of fun, and rest in peace to Pat Morita, he did a great job voicing the Master. A great episode, an almost great episode with a really good commentary that's somehow still relevant to this very day. That's the simplest way I can put it. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. SpongeBob Month 4 isn't quite done yet, but we are getting towards the back half, so... Yep, we're getting close to around the halfway point, so... Yeah. It's almost done. Bit sad, but, you know, all things have to end eventually. But you still have a long way to go before the end, because next up is the next double-part episode of Aquatic Neptune Reactions, yes, because the Among Us one's doing so well, for the Claw Machine episodes. They're pretty fun, I'm just going to say that right now. So I'll see you for Aquatic Neptune, SpongeBob, Crane 1 and 2. Well, Claw Machine 1 and 2. I'm sorry, my brain is scattered right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jot Small of Animation Station. Have a sponge-tastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.